What's going on, guys? Ryan with Jedha Patrol back with another video today. We're going to take a look at the new Hot Toys Classic Suit Spider-Man. Let's roll. That's right, guys. Ryan back. Another video. I'm super excited for this one. We have been waiting for a very, very long time for the classic suit Spider-Man from the PS4, PS5 video game, and I'm super stoked. You know, I like my Spider people. I've got a lot of them. There are a few that are missing in the collection. I'll have to go back and try and pick those up. A couple notable ones would be Negative Suit Spider-Man. I don't have that one. Spider-Man 2099. I guess I need that one. I don't have that one. And I think that might be it. I can't. Oh, Spider-Punk. I don't have Spider-Punk, so I need to get those in the collection so I can just complete the set and be done with that. But today we're going to talk about Classic Suit Spidey, which for many has been like the one piece. Like, I haven't bought any Spider-Man pieces, but I went that one because it represents childhood from the animated series and comics, and obviously from the video game. But the box art is pretty cool. If you want to pick up one of these, check out Pop Collectibles, linked in the description below. You can actually get it now rather than waiting months and months and months. Discount code down there for you as well. The box art is quite nice. You know, it's a box. It's got a like little magnetic deal, you know, with that. But we're not here to take a look at the box, so there's that. I want to talk about just a couple of the pieces before we get into like the posing section of this deal. I want to talk about this diorama base, which we got, which is right here. I've already put it together, and I actually put this together on a live stream where we unboxed this thing and just had a little bit of fun with it. That way, when I make a review, I can actually say, hey, look, I've spent some time with this, and this is what I think. And then if you want to see my first impressions, you can check out the live stream. But this diorama base is substantial. It is thick. You can see this. It is not like the other diorama pieces we've gotten in the past where they're kind of flimsy and whatever. It looks like a double-sided. There's actually two different sections glued together, which makes it very sturdy. And then it's got this little magnetic building rooftop, if you will, that kind of just goes right on there and comes off. Nice paint applications. We got Scorpion there on the front. Nice little graffiti. Got some Spider-Man action going on there. Nice little holes and everything going on there. And then we got this like window effect, which is straight up plastic, but it looks fantastic. I really like this effect right here. There we go. You can see it right there. It looks really good. And if you want to flip it inside out, you can see the inside. It's got like little wall outlets in there so Spidey can plug in his phone, I guess, and charge it. And then, of course, we have the villain of this whole piece, this diorama scorpion tail, which is quite long. It is literally, I have Spidey here. It's literally like this freaking tall. It's a good 4 or 5 inches taller than the actual Spider-Man figure. And this thing is super cool. So it looks to me, the way they've made this is a dynamic flight pole, like we've seen for countless figures, screws into a base attachment, goes on there, and then it's wrapped in this like rubbery vinyl material, I guess is the best way to say it. But the paint applications are glorious. And they did a really, really good job with this thing. Nice little yellow highlights going on along, I say yellow, but yellowish lime green color, I guess, if you want. For that, nice shading all around this piece. And then we have a tip right there. There's the tip of this figure. Nice little highlight there where it would be like a venom strike, I guess, if you will. And then a nice little ball joint here. You can kind of move this guy around, do whatever you want. Now, I have noticed when posing this guy on the diorama base, it takes a little bit of force. This thing's definitely going to hold. It's however you bend it and pose it, it will definitely hold it. You're not going to like crazy tight bends out of it because it's just a thicker material, and I think that's good for durability, so I'm okay with that. What I don't think you want to do after messing with this thing is because there's only a little bit of this screw that mounts into the base, and the base that this mounts into is plastic. I think if you're bending this thing around while it's attached to it, you have the ability or the potential to actually snap that plastic base, because the plastic that it goes into, it's fairly cheap. I mean, it just is. It's not awesome as far as that goes, but it works. I just think you should be careful with this because you could absolutely bend this, snap that piece of plastic that goes on the base, and then you'd have a very bad day, and that would suck. But overall, I think this paint applications on this is actually quite glorious. I think they did a fantastic job, and I'm super excited to see what we might get when we finally get like the in-hand Doc Ock that they're giving us from No Way Home. So I don't know if it'll be something like this. If it is, I think it's sturdy enough. If you had 4 of these tentacles, arms, if you will, with Doc Ock, I think it would absolutely support the figure. But I also think it would be extremely heavy to have 4 of these. Like this has got some girth to it, right? So Spidey here, this is what we're all here to talk about today. We got our little Spidey guy right here looking all kinds of awesome. But this is what it's all about right here. That's that classic Spidey logo, which we got with the Cyborg Spider-Man. We definitely got it with that. But the Cyborg Spider-Man had all the cyborg parts and the bandages and the whole Deathlock thing going on. The colors on this are vibrant. The colors are beautiful. I mean, just the figure itself with all the accessories you get, I really have no complaints with the figure whatsoever. It looks exactly as I thought it would. And I'm happy for it, man. I just really enjoy posing Spider-Man figures. So what we got to determine over the course of this video is this going to be the definitive Spider-Man? So if you only had one, or you were choosing to only get one for your collection, would this be it? Or should we go like the Tom Holland route, which is definitely a smaller framed figure? This is more of an adult male, and Tom Holland's supposed to be a teenager. So there's differences there. But we'll just have to figure that out. So let's have some fun, pose this guy up, see what we can come up with. All right, guys, let's have some fun with this pose. We have Spidey mocked up here with the diorama base with the scorpion tail in the background, and we've got him kind of whipping through the air, escaping Scorpion. I thought kind of go for that. Pretty fun, actually. The diorama base, I got to give it like a 10 out of 10. I freaking like this thing, and it would be awesome if maybe with other, this might be asking a bit much, with other future Spider-Man releases, if they like included more of this type of thing. I like this versus the other diorama bases that generally, they kind of fall flat. So this one I dig. There's one thing I guess I'll knock it for a few points for this. I don't understand this this base. Like this base doesn't particularly match the diorama. It just doesn't match. I mean, it's okay on its own, but it doesn't really match the overall aesthetic of the rest of the piece. So I'll give it a few knocks and points for that. But this scorpion tail is freaking awesome. I like it very much. It is fairly sharp. It does have like a rubberized tip on the end, but it is still fairly sharp. And I think this little glass effect that they've got going on here, which I know is 100% plastic, but I just think that I think it works. I think it absolutely works. And I like that they're doing something a little different. Big fan of that, and I would like to have more of these kind of bases, honestly. So one thing that was a little strange, has some Scorpion graffiti on the side of this, and Scorpion doesn't do a whole lot of graffiti work that I remember in the comics, but video game stuff. So there's that. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's not a deal breaker or anything. And then got this little spider graffiti here at the bottom as well. So there's that. I do like the cutouts. I like the cutouts that they're not a straight like square or circle. They actually have some character to them. I dig that. And the fact that you can get this dynamic pole to go through that cutout, or if you really wanted to, you can get it to go through this cutout. I think that would be that'd be fine too. And I like all the little jagged edges in the brick and everything. If it was just a straight up square, it would not work, I don't think. And then we've got Spidey up here, flipping through the air. So I'm pretty happy with this, to say the least, as far as, just the overall setup. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to end up displaying him just yet, because we're still having fun with this guy. But if you wanted to have something simple like this and you didn't have, 14 other Spider-Men, this would be certainly a way that you could display him and look cool. But let's have some more fun with it. Let's see what else we come up with. All right, some of you guys might be wondering what this figure comes with, other than obviously the awesome diorama backdrop and scorpion tail, dynamic flight poles, all that kind of fun stuff. It actually comes with a decent amount of hands, which, spoiler, are pretty much the exact same hands you get with every other Spider-Man, except for the pointing hand, which you do get 2 of. So that's kind of interesting. But we'll take a closer look at some of these accessories, because some of them are kind of fun. The first one being the actual newspaper, because I think this is a super cool addition as far as a accessory piece for posing goes. So on this piece, there's actually print on the front and back of every single page. Some pretty cool stuff in there. There's the Sinister Six parts in there. There's like the Big Five that have like different villains on them. You got Miles Morales article there. There's advertisements for a weird coffee drink that I would not recommend at all because I just don't. But that's pretty cool, and it seems to be durable. Unfortunately, I think if you were to bend this and crease it, like that would be a bad day. So be careful when you're posing this thing. It's just something to watch out for. But I very much like that. I just think it's cool. As far as hands go, we get the normal Spidey hands, and you get this cool phone here that actually has Doc Ock on it. I'm gonna try and zoom in here, but it is extremely small. Doc Ock's actually calling Peter here. Unlike some other phones we've seen in the past, there's nothing really fantastic about this piece. It's just a different sticker applied to a different piece of plastic for Spider-Man. So there's that. We do have the pointing hand, which we talked about. We have it right and left, so if you want to have multiple Spideys pointing at each other, you can absolutely do that. As far as the webs go, guys, you've seen the webs, the normal webs we get with every other Spider-Man. But you do get some change-out eyes if you want to change out the eyelets. You get 6 pieces, 6 parts, 3 pair. You get these wider ones, you get these little narrow ones, and then obviously you get the ones that are actually on the figure. And then along with the other side of hands, you get the pointing hand, flipping hands, some crawling hands, and you get these switch out arm, palm pieces for the web shooters if you want to display those. Take a look at the actual figure itself, though. If we can do that, there we go. The Spidey himself is glorious. Absolutely glorious. I literally have almost no complaints about this figure whatsoever. I knew exactly what to expect if you had the advanced suit Spidey. It's pretty much the exact same material, so it bunches up in some positions depending on where you pose it at. But the colors on it are glorious. They are absolutely glorious. The paint applications are fantastic. Obviously, the epic, classic Spidey symbol on the back. But yeah, I dig this. Some nice panel lines on the pants, and then we get the webbing and stuff that goes down to the feet. So there's double joints everywhere. You would expect there to be double joints. Nice ratchet everywhere in the shoulders and in the abdomen section, so that's nice. And obviously a ball joint on the top of the head, so you can have him posed whichever way you want, which is really, when you get a Spider-Man figure, what you want. You want to have posability and have some fun with him and have him flipping upside down, doing kind of crazy stuff. But this is definitely a win. So we'll have to determine this for, I guess the video is, out of all the Spider-Man that I have, and maybe the ones that you have as well, is this like the definitive Spider-Man, or is there another? So we got 3 Spideys up here. I brought up the classic Spidey, obviously, for the point of the video. We got Advanced Suit on the left, and we got Cyborg Spidey on the right. And you let me know in the comment section down below if you have a favorite out of the 3 you're looking at right now. So let's talk about coloration on these guys. The middle one is the definitely more saturated, vibrant red. Is absolutely more, you can see it just straight off in the middle of the camera. The blues are more vibrant, and I would say the blues are more like the Tom Holland Homecoming tech suit. If you have that figure, it's definitely that color blue, or very, very similar to it anyways. And honestly, coloration looks very similar. If the materials were the same, they'd probably look very, very close. The advanced suit and the Cyborg Spidey are definitely a muted, a darker red, I guess, if you will. Muted in saturation would be the word for it, I think. And as well as the blues. So the blues on the advanced suit are definitely more of a darker, that's like an oceanic blue, I guess. I don't know what the best word for that is, but it's definitely different than the Cyborg, which you can see on the right. And there is definitely one thing that makes one of these figures stand out more than the others, and it's got to be that white Spidey symbol on the advanced suit. It is, I mean, it just stands out. It is awesome. But if you grew up watching the Spider-Man comics, obviously played a game, watching the animated series Spider-Man and reading the comics, the middle one, the classic suit, is about perfect. It's just about flipping perfect. It really is. I like all of these, don't get me wrong. I got a lot of Spidey people. I like them all. But if I had to pick one, if you were thinking about getting one Spidey for your collection, just one, I would go with the classic Spidey. Out of all the Spider-Man I've got, I'd probably go to classic Spidey if I was limited to only one. But thankfully, I'm not limited to one. I got a bunch of them, so let's pose them up. All right, so I took a moment to remove the stand that the scorpion tail goes on and actually have it laying on the ground and weighted down with a light. So that's how I got it to go through that bottom hole, because it's a little tall if you connect it to the stand. But if you cheat, you can definitely do that. So I've removed that. And I just want to take a second just to reiterate how awesome this freaking scorpion tail is. It's just so cool. It really is. But one of the things I wanted to try was, could we have Spidey sitting on top of the rooftop? And the answer is, without a doubt, yes, you can. And that is with no support stand whatsoever. Literally just have him sitting on top of this diorama base, which I think gives credit to the stability and the durability of this base, because that cardboard, they made it so thick that it actually works. The rooftop magnet pieces that go over the top, they're definitely wide enough to sit the figure up there. Before you ask, Spidey-Man will not do the sitting on the toes, the arms down, the classic Spidey pose. It won't do it, guys. This figure is just, I mean, it's good, but it ain't gonna do that. Homemade suit Spidey, if you want to do that one, you have a pretty good shot at it. But these rubberized figures, yeah, not so much. So this is about, the best I can do as far as this goes. Maybe we'll try another one another time, but I think it works. So we've got one knee kind of hanging out up top, and then the other one's just the leg extended, and he's kind of looking down on our scorpion tail, trying to figure out what's going on using his Spidey sense. And I think it looks pretty good. So you could absolutely display yours just like this if you wanted to, and have no problem whatsoever, just looking awesome. And so, yeah, I think it works. All right, guys, so we've got our classic suit Spidey posed up here on the rooftop, and I've got him kind of flying in. He's kind of got one arm there, kind of on there, and got one leg kicked out. And he's up there doing his thing, being Spidey, but he's not alone, as we can see the elbow of one friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So we'll get to him in just a second, but I'm really enjoying this guy. Again, the colors are just glorious. So we're going to pan down here. Got a couple things going on. We got a little spider drone, hanging out here on the rooftop here. And then we've got our cyborg Spider-Man looking all kinds of awesome. He's just kind of doing a pose. He's like, hey, I'm here, man. Check it out. I've got an arm, and I will use it if I need to. But over here, we've got our scorpion tail right there with that lime green, venomous stinker over there. And he is being wrapped up in a custom web all the way over here by, well, that's Advanced Suit Spidey. He's kind of tangled up with Advanced Suit Spidey right this second. And he's having a good time with that. And then, of course, we got, we had to break out Miles. So Miles is here. He's charged up and ready to roll, having all kinds of a good time with that. Ready there with Spider-Man right there, kind of hanging out there. And we go across. We've got, we got this guy. Another PS4, PS5 Spider-Man. One of the coolest ones. And one of the ones that in the secondary market, I've noticed people trying to sell these things relatively cheap. If you have the opportunity to pick up this Iron Spider, don't skip it. It's so much shelf presence. But he's kind of here hanging out. And then back here we've got, yeah, that's right. We got Doc Ock, who is also busting through, if I can zoom in here. Our Doc Ock arms are also busting through that spot right there. And he's getting tangled up. Antioch Spider's having a tough time there. And of course, up top, we've got the guy who's not paying attention to any of this at all. He's literally reading the newspaper. We've got our Scarlet Spidey. So we've built a little Spideyverse here, having fun here with the PS4, PS5 games, and you can see this is kind of what we've got, going on. So a lot of things going on here with this particular pose, with all these kind of figures, with Miles here and Cyborg and all these guys going on. So after having all these guys up there, and after this display falling over 3 different times and having to rebuild it, which was extremely frustrating, I have a lot of fun posing Spider people. I do. I like it. We need more villains. And somebody's going to say, well, where is the So-So Toys Green Menace? I don't enjoy posing that figure, so I left it out of here. I just don't. The single joint elbows just annoy me every time I look at that thing. And then the green that doesn't match it. It's a thing. So I left that one out of here. and I figured we'd just stick with Hot Toys for this this go around. So the question I posed at the beginning of the video was: is this the classic suit thing? That is this the definitive Spider-Man for a collector? And yes, like I say. Now we're not talking about Tom Holland Spider-Verse, because those are smaller figures. They're different bodies. They're smaller figures, and I have no problem mixing them in. I don't have an issue with that. If you want to display all your Spider people together, no issue with that whatsoever. I just figured for this video I would kind of keep it to this realm. But yeah, I think so. I think this is I mean, we got the classic iconic Spider logo on the back, even though most of the time we're not looking at the back of our figures. The colors are vibrant and blue and glorious. I think they're fantastic. It's readily available. It's new, and has all these cool accessories. And it's got this diorama base, which is, I will go ahead and say it, one of the best diorama bases Hot Toys has ever produced. We get a villain tail with the scorpion. We get just the accessories and hands and just all the stuff. It's a fun figure. It's a fun figure. Not to take away from the other figures that we clearly have on the table, but if I was going to choose one, if I was only going to have one in my collection, it would be this classic suit Spidey. That would be it. So there's that. But I love hearing from you guys, because everybody likes to collect different things. Would yours be, the Miles? Would it be the Scarlet Spidey, which is amazing as well? Which one would it be? Love hearing from you guys in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. We got a 75K giveaway coming up soon. Super excited for that. And I've got the new HasLab Razor Crest coming inbound. We've got some couple 3-0 pieces inbound. Actually, they're here working on those videos. And some other treats that are coming up on the channel. So if you haven't already done that, subscribe to the channel and check out the Facebook group in the link in the description below. As always, click what you like. See you next time.